Hello, happy Friday. How are you today? Today we are in another day of our 28-day challenge, Intentional Parenting for Busy Moms. And it is day 4. I'm so excited. We're doing this every day in the month of February. So if you're just now tuning in, I encourage you to go back and watch the other videos. They can be found in the guides section of my group. Survival Mode to Successful Mompreneurs of Little Kids Creating Momentum. I'm doing a giveaway in my group at the end of February for anyone who comments on every post in the challenge is be entered in the giveaway, which is a free one-on-one coaching call with me that you can schedule at your convenience. So I encourage you to go in there and comment on the post, join the group if you're not a member of the group. If you are a member of the group, please just put your comments in so you can be entered in that giveaway. So today is day 4, and we're talking about how do you want to spend your time. And so I want to just really dive in. I think this video is a really good transition from what we talked about yesterday and also what we're going to talk about later on. Because yesterday I talked about what are your dreams for your kids. And I gave the example of teaching your kid, like me instilling a love of reading in my kids, okay? And I gave the example of teaching my kids Spanish and things that are important to me. Those two things I feel like are really good examples, because if I'm not spending my time doing these things, and I'm not talking about all the time, who has time to do this all day? Our kids don't even have the patience the attention span to sit still and listen for that long, and neither do I, honestly. But if we're not doing this little by little, and even if it's not on a daily basis, if it's just on a regular, planned out basis, if we're not planning when we're doing this, then it's not going to get done, because failure to plan is planning to fail. And that's why we are doing this challenge, Intentional Parenting for Busy Moms, because we are all busy. And if we are not absolutely on purpose being intentional, it's not going to happen. That's just reality. The time is just going to pass, and we're going to look back and say, where did the time go? And we're going to do that anyway, but it's better. I think we'll feel a lot better about the time that we spent with our kids if we were intentional about it, if we were doing the things that are important to us while we're with our kids. So how do you want to spend your time? Let's go back to what I talked about yesterday. What are your dreams for your kids? So let me give you another example of something that's a dream for my kids. And when I say dreams, it's how do I want them to be when they're adults? What qualities am I instilling? What skills am I instilling in them? What do I want them to have from me when they arrive at adulthood? Another example of something that I want my kids to have when they arrive at adulthood is a sense of how to handle money. So this is something, now my kids are just now getting to the age that they can count money. But we have conversations regularly about how to handle money, about how to save money, about how to spend money wisely. And so a lot of those conversations happen around the dinner table. And so that means me planning the meals and making sure we're at the table every night, not every night, but at least 4 nights a week, having supper together so that we can have those conversations after a long, busy day, so that we are making those connections. That's another thing that's important to me. And, maybe that's not at the top of your priority list, and that's okay. But for me, it's important that we eat around the table a lot. So, and I'm not a big fancy cook either, and we eat on paper plates. But the point is that we're together and that we're eating, we're sharing a meal, and we're talking. And, it's not easy when I've got all these little kids spilling things everywhere and they can't even fix their own drinks. But I do it because I know that it's going to pay off later on when they are old enough to do those things that I started right now. And I want to say that, another thing, we have lots of meaningful conversations around the table. And going back to teaching them about money, we talk about that around the table. I also take them with me sometimes when I go grocery shopping so that I can teach them how to pay the clerk if I'm paying with cash, and how to count the money when they give it back to me, and how to shop for deals, how to shop for what's on sale, how to make a shopping list and check things off your list so that you're not spending too much money, you're staying within your budget. And my kids have these vocabulary words, and that my kids are familiar, and that this is normal with my kids. That's something that's important to me. It's just a life skill that I want to pass on to my kids. But if I did not go ahead and decide that intentionally beforehand, if I had not written that down, because those things are things that are written down, I've journaled about those things. And, it's like I've said previously, failing to plan is planning to fail. And our top role is as a mom. Our top role is being the mom to our kids. And so, and there's lots of other hats that we wear, but this one is pretty close to the top. So I think that it's just very important that we set these intentions and that we carry them out well. So next week, I want to give you a spoiler alert for next week. So next week we're going to have a different theme. The theme this week is defining our dreams. That was the overarching theme of all the posts this week in the challenge. Next week, our theme is beating busy. So we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. We're going to look at, even though we're so busy, how can we not let the busy take over our lives? How can we stay in control even though we're so busy? How can we make our lives a lot easier so that we can show up, so that we're not so stressed, so that this challenge of being intentional doesn't feel like another burden to bear? Because if that's how this feels to you, I encourage you to tune in next week. And if you are not a member of my group, Survival Mode is Successful, Mompreneurs of Little Kids Creating Momentum, I encourage you to head on over there and join and just be a part of the challenge and everything else that's going on in that group. So I will see you next week. Bye.